What is something a high school teacher told you that you will never forget? High school wasn't easy for me. I wasn't the smartest kid in the room, far from it. I struggled with chemistry the most. No matter how much I studied, I just couldn't get it. And one day, it all came crashing down. We got our test results back, and there it was, a big, red F on my paper. My chest tightened. Everyone around me was celebrating their grades, while I just sat there staring at mine, feeling like a complete failure. When the bell rang, I stayed behind, hoping no one would notice the tears welling up in my eyes. But Mrs. Kapoor, my chemistry teacher, noticed. She always did. She walked over quietly and said, "Aryan, can we talk for a moment?" I didn't want to talk, but I nodded. She sat down next to me and asked, "Do you know why I love teaching?" I shrugged, barely holding back my tears. She smiled softly and said, "Because I get to remind students like you that one bad day, one bad grade, doesn't define who you are or who you can become." I finally broke down. "But I'm not good enough," I whispered. "I try so hard, but I can't do it." Her expression softened, and she said something I'll never forget. "Aryan, do you know how diamonds are made? Under immense pressure. They start as nothing but rocks, but over time, with enough pressure, they become something beautiful. Right now, you're under pressure, but I see a diamond in you. You might not see it yet, but I do. And I'll keep seeing it until you believe it too." Her words hit me like a wave. No one had ever said something like that to me before. From that day on, I promised myself I'd try, not just for her, but for me. It wasn't easy, and I stumbled along the way. But every time I felt like giving up, I heard her voice in my head, "I see a diamond in you." Years later, when I graduated college, something I never thought I could do, I sent her a letter. I told her about that day and how her words had stayed with me, shaping the person I became. Sometimes, all it takes is one person to believe in you when you can't believe in yourself. For me, that person was Mrs. Kapoor.